Hey, good people.
Hello. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hey, so I am Valencia M, and I am the assistant director. Hey, we just started now. Okay. This is what happened when you go live, people.
In the community.
In the community. Yes.
Silence in the community. Lord. This is what happens when you tape in front of a live studio
Okay.
audience.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So anyway, I am Valencia M, and I am assistant director on the JCBIY Events Talk Show. And this is my co-pilot.
Hey.
Go ahead, tell everybody who you are, co-pilot.
Hi, I am Jourdeanna Yates, career coach, getting you to believe in yourself as well as make you realize that you have choices. So we are super excited about you guys being here with us today.
Yay!
You will notice that it's just the dynamic duo today.
Just us today, yeah. Unfortunately, our director and producer, John Carr.
Executive producer. Give him his title, please.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And star from another galaxy.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh, wait, and I gotta say, vocalist.
Vocalist. John Carr, exactly.
Here. We're giving him a hard time, but he actually lost a family member. I want to send our condolences out for the loss of their oldest brother, Samuel Carr Jr. the second. So our prayers, our hearts, our thoughts are with the Carr family at this time, and we'll see.
We're praying for your mental, physical, and spiritual strength during this time. Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna get started. I know he wanted to be here,
but I know go on.
Yeah,
he would say the show must go on.
Y'all gotta go ahead and do it. All right, do it without me. All right, so we're gonna have some fun without him.
Yes.
All right.
That's it.
And so today we are going to continue our talk about the 3 things that keep you from success.
Yes.
And last week we talked about fear, which was a really good
one.
one.
Yeah. So that's a huge one. So we started. That was our number one. So I bought my quote today. Every moment is a choice between love and fear. So every moment is a choice between love and fear, and that's what we really talked about last week. How fear can hold you back and stop you from being willing to jump out to be successful. And so we want you to rebrand your fear into love and in faith. We want you to be able to believe in yourself. We want you to be able to believe that there's good things out there for you. And so, we talked about fear being a prison sentence, and you get to choose how long you stay in prison. So please don't serve a 10-year fear sentence, right? You can choose whether it lasts 10 minutes, 10 days, 10 months, 10 years. And so we don't want you to live in that place of fear for a long time, for sure.
And it is a choice.
Absolutely.
So you really have to change your mindset and talk to yourself. Like you were saying, talking to yourself.
Yeah, we are not going to do this today.
Yeah.
No.
You got to get yourself out of that, And sometimes I know that it can be a difficult thing to do because there's so much going on with us, especially with the with things that are going on right now, and we're not able to be as social as as we're used to. But you can still there's people are finding all kinds of creative ways to be able to still connect. So
Absolutely.
you can connect, and there's so many groups. There's Facebook groups. There's there's groups on Instagram, and so if you want help, there is help for you.
Yeah.
And you can always reach out to us. We're
here for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But it's actually a good segue into part two for this week. And we're going to talk about comparison. And so it's funny that you mentioned those social media platforms, right?
Yeah.
Because for as great as social media is, and it connects us, and it gives you resources and all these different places that you can go to for information, it also at times can lead us to what is our number 2 thing that holds us back from being successful, and that's comparison.
Yeah.
So, I mean, guys, listen, when you start watching Facebook and social media, and it's like, well, why is she out there living her best life? And why does he get to have this? And why is this and that?
Yeah.
And so that level of comparison can get in the way, truth be told, of you being successful, for sure.
It can definitely cause and wreak havoc in your life. And with your self-esteem.
Yeah.
You know, everyone shows the best part of their lives on, you know, Facebook, on Facebook, on whatever. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, you're going to see all the good things, but you don't know all the struggles and everything else that people are having to get to where they are. Behind the scenes, you don't know all of that stuff. All you can see is, oh, they're in Ibiza. How they get there and I can't go? You know,
why you say Ibiza? I don't go there, but okay.
I don't know.
You know, I'm having traveling like I'm going through a draw right now. Okay.
That's it. But you don't know that person saved 5 years to get to that little trip.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So so we have to be very careful and mindful of that. You know. So I agree. Yeah.
So here's what I will tell you, and this is where I start with the conversation on comparison. What comparison does is it allows you to see the best in others, and it allows you to see the worst in yourself.
Yeah, that's so.
And so by glamorizing and seeing the best in others, what you ultimately end up doing is you see the worst in yourself, and you start this sort of what I call negative talk or self-hate talk, or just that thing that is well, they're doing this, and so why can't I? And what's wrong with me? And what happened? Like, well, why am I not at that place, or why am I not where I want to be? And so that's why comparison is so important for you to recognize when you're doing it and stop yourself. Truth be told, stop yourself, for sure.
There's always going to be someone smarter. There's always going to be someone prettier or more handsome or physically fit or more successful or healthier or wealthier or whatever. And so that's something that you can't let that stop you from being the best that you can be. So that's something that I keep in mind when I see people like my age, and it's like, oh, well, they're doing this and they're doing that. And I'm like, oh, well, I wish I could do that. Well, okay, I'm doing what I'm doing right now. And so I'm going to continue to take one step in front of the other. I'll put one foot in front of the other until I get to where I need to be. Their life is their life, and that's what was for them. And now I have to work towards what's for me. And it can motivate you to do better
if you use it right.
Yes. Yeah.
So you gave the flip side, which is I like this. We're giving the flip side. I see comparison as a distraction. It's a distraction. It takes you off your game. It gets you unfocused on the things you need to be focused on. Right. And what Valencia M just talked about is not letting it be a distraction, but rather using it as a motivator, right? Like using it on the flip side of that as a motivator. Comparison allows you to see the best in others and the worst in you, which distracts you from what your focus and what your goals and what your plan is. And so you can't do that. You can't allow that level of comparison to get you into your feelings. Really, that's what it is. You're in your feelings. So it can't you can't allow it to get you into your feelings to the point where it takes you off your game. Right. And that's what it is. It can't take you off your game.
I think sometimes, we're so deep and we're in the thick of things, and it's like you don't see you can't see the other side. Yeah. And sometimes that can be very disheartening, and so you start to beat yourself up, and it doesn't allow you to. What I think what we really have to do is, while we're working towards our goals, you have to take those small steps and those small wins, and don't wait until I want this is the car that I want, and until I get that car, that I'm not gonna, you know, I'm just gonna be doing what I'm my head's down, I'm doing this. But then you miss everything along the way. You have to enjoy the journey of it all.
Yeah.
You know, because then when you get to the other side, you're like, you forget. You're like, well, how did I get here?
Yeah.
You know, it's like I really do think you should celebrate those small steps and just make those small journeys and definitely celebrate them at every chance you get. You know what I mean? So don't give yourself that tall order and it's like, well, I really don't know if I'm going to ever get to that side of it, but you can.
No, you have to, first of all, part of what stops us, right, when it comes to this comparison, and you talk about celebrating the small wins, is that you have to write down the things that you want. And we talked about that with fear, right? We said write down the things that you want. And so, you know, and it's okay for it to be a laundry list. I think I used to feel bad about making this list of too many things. I felt like I'm extremely fortunate as it is. I should be thankful and grateful for what I have. Like, who am I to ask for all of these things or have this laundry list? And I'm like, no, I'm allowed to want more. I'm allowed to be bold. So start by making that list. So like Valencia and Emma is saying, that you can start celebrating those small wins and those small steps. And, you know, one of our core members of our group and our you know, one of our sponsors, Jaylyn, right?
Oh, yeah.
From Love Sense, I look at her as someone who has taken sort of that stepping stone approach, right? So she started off, you know, as a medical assistant. She's working and in school now to become a nurse. You know, ultimately her goal is to become a doula and to be able to be a midwife. And so it's just one of those things, or actually, I'm sorry, she's already delivered. She's already a midwife and has already kind of delivered, but she's taken that stepping stone. And so you celebrate those small wins on your way to where it is that you need that you're attempting to go. And so, you know, for me, like I said, this comparison is something that just can seep into us. And so I'm really big on getting people to stop self-hate talk, right? Stop self-hate talk. And I use this example because if somebody was to say something bad about me, right? I'm ready to jump bad. Like, oh, you're not going to talk about me. Like, I know you didn't just say that. I know you weren't coming at me.
Because I am it.
I'm it.
Okay.
But when I talk negative about myself, do I check myself?
Right.
Like, am I ready to jump bad with myself? Am I ready to fight myself? Like, so, and that's just it. So if you're someone who, you know, the second somebody says something about you or has a negative word for you, if you're ready to jump bad with them, then I'm going to need you to be ready to jump bad with yourself. Okay. I'm going to need you to stop that self-hate talk. And start saying positive things about you. So one of the steps for comparison that I have people do is that I want people to stop for a moment and write down 3 positive things about themselves. And I can't tell you how hard it is for people to do this, right? Like when I say, tell me 3 great things about you, they're like, well, I mean, I just got my GED. That's it. And it's like, you said that as a negative, right? Like you were trying to give me a pop, but you can't. Like so often we're prone to see the worst. And I guess what part of this comparison conversation is about is that comparison starts a small thing, but comparison grows into something bigger, and it can turn into something that is just ugly and can take over. So stop. Last week for fear, we asked you to write down. We wanted you to make a list of the things that you want to accomplish, and swing for the fences. Take the fear out of it and just write down the things that you want to do in life or professionally and in your career, or how you want to make a difference in this world. We all have special gifts and talents, and how do you want to use those? This week, in terms of comparison, I want everybody to write down 3 positive things about themselves. And read your list, because the first time you do it, you're going to have one and you're like, that's kind of negative what I just wrote. It's like, cross it off and really write down something positive, right?
It's definitely a positive, not like, oh, like just
exactly.
It doesn't matter how old you are.
Exactly.
You accomplished it.
Exactly.
So that's all that matters.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you want to be able to write down those positives within yourself, for sure. And then it's funny. One of the things, everybody's been doing different things during this pandemic and stuff, and I've been doing much better with getting into my reading. And so if you're someone who, it's tough for you to read books or stay focused, the audio books are good ways to do that. Get in your car. I got tired of staying in the house. I took a ride to Baltimore. Mainly it was for a lobster roll, but it also gave me an opportunity to listen to an audio.
It was worth it.
It was worth it. But it gave me the opportunity to listen to an audio book while I was going down the highway. And the audio book that I listened to was this book by Ryan Leake, and it's called Unoffendable. No offense, none taken. And one of the first things that he talks about is how comparison leads you to get offended, right? Like, because by comparing yourself, all of a sudden you're now offended that you don't have the things that you want, or you're not a better speaker, or you're not a better professional, or you're not in the position that you want to be in. And so one of the things that I loved was just talking about being able to genuinely celebrate other people. And when you celebrate other people, like when you genuinely celebrate, he said it was a freeing thing for yourself, right? Like, exactly, right? Like, so when you start celebrating people, it is like, it's huge. I mean, it's huge for you.
Be happy for that.
Yes. No hate. No hate. No.
Like,
Sis, I'm excited about Student Sunday. I'm excited that you are doing Student Sunday. I think it is a wonderful thing. And I'm excited for your new adventure.
Yes.
And you are supposed to speak these words of positivity when you see people doing great things.
Especially your friends and your family. Those are the people that you should be rooting for the most. Not hating on what they're doing. Don't be resentful of someone else's. And that's what comparison can also do. Yeah, make you resentful of someone else's success. Don't be a hater. You know what I mean? Just be happy for that person. Like I said, what was for them was for them. You will get what is for you as long as you continue to work towards it.
Yes.
That's it.
But that's huge, because that leads us to talk about, and one of the conversations we had, I know all of us when we did our social networking event, that leads me to talk about the circle of people that we choose to spend our time with, right?
Yes.
And so I want to be around people who are going to celebrate me, people who are going to elevate me, people that I can also help elevate. And so what that means is that you need people that are in sort of these different, I call them kind of different categories. And I'll tell you, I think it was Will Smith was actually someone who originally talked about this, but it was like, you need people that are at the same level as you. You need people that are doing better or have, accomplished a whole lot more than you. And then you need those people that you can help to elevate, right?
Yeah.
So, we tend to travel in the same circles and we tend to travel with the same group of people, and that's great. But do you have people that you're helping to elevate? Do you have people that you're encouraging, that you're moving up? If not, you need to get some that you can mentor and help get to a different level. And then with the same respect, if you want to grow, if you want to elevate, then you need someone who's above you that can help mentor you and pull you up. And that's uncomfortable. Right?
Yes,
that's uncomfortable. Can I get an amen? Go ahead now. All right. It's an uncomfortable thing because you think you know everything. I love it. You think you know everything. Yes, sis.
You're not the boss of me.
You better say it. That's it. Right. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, right. Yes. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Cause see, that's healthy competition, right? Like I'm all good. You know, when we talk about comparison, and I probably should have pulled up the dictionary. You know, I'm good for my dictionary definitions of things. But I'm gonna have somebody pull up the dictionary definition for us. But one of the things that is good is healthy competition elevates you. Not that competition like she running faster than me. I'm gonna trip her on the way. Let me stick my foot out real quick so she can trip. That's not healthy competition. Okay, that's not healthy competition.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Not at all. Not at all. You know, I think about Serena and Venus Williams, right? Wow. Because they're both tennis players. Right. Yeah. They're both tennis players. They're sisters. Mm-hmm. It could easily be like, well, my sister thinks she's better than me. Or, you know, it could turn into sort of this negative kind of competition. Right. But having that person that you can play well with or play off of kind of makes you step your game up a little bit more, helps you to elevate. I mean, and those are the things that become important. So that level, that was a really good example in terms of just, you know, sport competition and running track. It makes you better with that level of healthy competition. Yeah. And so you have to when you're traveling, I think it's easy for us. I don't think anybody has a difficult time traveling in their circle with people that are like them, right? That's a fairly easy one. I think we feel good about ourselves when we travel in a circle with people who need our help and that we're helping to elevate. That allows us to walk around feeling good, like, you know, you walk around, right. You pat ourselves on the back, right. Peacock a little bit, you know, struck with it. That's a good thing. But the thing that challenges us when we get stretched to walk into a group that is clearly I'm out of my element. It's like, what do you do? And yep, it's the fear. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. We're breaking down these three things over 3 different weeks here so that we can spend some time really to have the conversations about fear and comparison. I'm not going to tell you what the third one is yet, but so that we can talk about these things. But you're absolutely right. All 3 of these things interlock and intertwine and truthfully causes us not to walk in the power and the success that each one of us has. And that's the reality of it is that, and that's why I think the comparison thing is such a huge piece, because we all are born with unique talents and unique gifts and unique skill sets, right? And so my sister is phenomenal when it comes to cooking. I don't want to cook. That is not my talent. I can, but I don't want to. She can. I don't want to. But, you know, that is a unique talent and gift for her. And so I'm going to support that by eating food by Valencia M any and every chance I can. Yeah. I don't get it enough, but that's a separate conversation.
I know. I need to do better.
You need to start talking better for me. I need you to step it up, sis. But no, I mean, but seriously, like everybody has those unique talents and gifts.
Yeah.
And part of that is finding what yours is.
Yeah.
And to me, you cannot do that alone. You can't. It's not possible.
You need help. You need support. We're social creatures. So, you trying to go it alone, not saying that it's impossible, but it makes the task that more difficult for you. And it's unnecessary when you can when there are people out there that will definitely you have resources that will help you meet your goals. And it may not be your family. It may not be your friend. There are so many organizations out there. There is so much help. There really is. There's a lot of help.
Yeah.
So you may not be able to count on the people that are closest to you, because, and I hear that a lot. People, my family, they will sabotage me, or they don't support my dream. They don't support my goals. Then you need to find a support group that will.
Right.
Or a group of people that will support you and help you move to the next levels. And there are plenty of people out here.
Yeah.
That want.
I'm gonna shout out my cousin Anastasia. She's a life coach. She's a therapist, and she gave a great example. I mean, when I look at her, she is like smart. She's educated. She's doing her thing.
Yeah.
And she joined this professional network. Mm-hmm. And it was a hefty ticket to join it. But then when she got in there, it's at this like country club, and she's like the only person of color, right? Oh, wow. She's like, clearly all these people are making way more, like their station in life is at a different place. But she's walking in that circle because she's got goals, right? She's got things and big things that she wants to accomplish. And by doing that, she's stretching herself. And I'm not saying, like, I want to be clear, because I think sometimes people, like, even with the fear part, right? I get it. It's going to happen. Yeah. Comparison, it's going to happen. These things are going to creep into your life, but you have to be armed with what to do. And what you just said, don't get stuck. That's why we're having this conversation. Yeah. It's not because it doesn't happen. It's not because it won't happen. It's because we get stuck. We get stuck there, and then we look up and we're like, I could have did this, and I could have did that, and I should have done
5 years, and I'm still stuck in the same spot.
Exactly.
Why?
Back to it being a distraction instead of it, and taking the focus off the things that you want to do. I don't believe that anybody as kids, when you ask little kids, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? I don't think anyone says, I want to be homeless. I want to be poor. Right. I don't want to have a good job. Like, no one.
I want to work for minimum wage.
Yay! Like, no one does that. Like, I would hope not, right? Like, you say things that for a kid are like, even if it's like, I want to be a firefighter, or I want to, be a superhero, or whatever it is. You think big when you're younger. Yeah. And then as you get older, stuff starts to seep into your mind and in your body and your soul, and that's what starts to stop
you.
Life
starts to beat you down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're not resilient, you'll stay there.
Yeah.
Like, what's that song? When we fall down, when we get up.
We get up.
You fall down, but you gotta get yourself back up. Sometimes you got people to help you get up. Sometimes you don't, but you gotta get up. That means crawling to the edge until you get to the wall, so you can get yourself up. You still gotta get up. You can't lay there and let life pass you by because of fear or because of comparing yourself to other people and whatever their lives are. Don't do that. Yeah. And you have to be aware of it when you start letting that come into your thoughts, and have a game plan of how you're going to redirect yourself.
Yeah.
Well, nope, it's coming in. I'm not doing that. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. We got to move
like
somewhere.
We probably need to give them something better than talk to yourself. And now we're creating a bunch of people walking around talking to themselves.
Okay, all right. We don't want everybody to be
Lord,
like,
now we
what's
gonna have
wrong with
therapy. We know therapists we gonna refer you to, but that's not what we're trying to do. No, but I mean, you're right. Like because it's gonna happen. Yeah. And there's got to be something that triggers in you to say enough.
Not
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Stop. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's important. Yeah.
I feel like we do that a lot too. Like like you'll have a bad day or you'll have a bad week or life kicks the crap out of you. And what our instant thing is to do is we want to do what? We want to retreat inward, right? Yeah. I'm going to just lock myself in the bedroom and I'm just going to eat these chocolate cookies and I'm going to binge watch something and I'm going to retreat inward. And that is so unhealthy. I mean, we were not built to live alone. We were not built to go at it alone. Yeah. If so, you wouldn't have all these beautiful women sitting around here. Adam would be by himself, right? He'd have been by himself. Yeah. So we weren't created to be by ourselves. We were created to be able to, to have people to help you. And so you've got to be able to get that, and that's why I talk about the circle. That's why I talk about who's in your circle and making some good decisions in terms of that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask a question of our live studio audience. So when the comparison sets in, right? What do you do? How does it start small and then grow bigger, or what happens when it starts to creep in? Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so you let it motivate you. Yeah. You let it motivate you. Okay. Yeah. You're like, all right, well, I can do that too.
Right.
Yeah. I like that. I start calling next. Okay. Like seriously, when I see somebody doing something good, or if it was something like, somebody gets engaged, I'd be like, next, that's me, next. I'm claiming next. You start a new business? Yes. All right, next. Next. Different. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Just different.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, different has always been normal.
Right. Yeah.
Different to a lot of people is stranger. Yeah. Uncomfortable. Yeah. Different for me has always been normal. I never wanted to be like it.
Right.
I've never been like it.
Yep. Trendsetter.
But see, that's the point, right? With comparison, you don't have to compare because you are unique.
Right.
It's okay to be different. Yeah. It's okay to step in what your strengths are and what your power is and what works for you. And so just because someone else is getting something or someone else is doing something doesn't mean that you're not or that you can't. Like, I don't have to say, I'm a better speaker, or I'm a better this, or I'm a better mom, or I'm a better assistant. Like, you don't have to do that because you're you're unique. Why would you want to be the same as someone else? You don't want to. You don't want to. There is something uniquely in each and every one of us. Even if you were to line up 3 different chefs, right? And they are like the best at cooking. Each one of them has a specialty dish, right? Something that's special, unique. They have a unique way of doing it. And so that doesn't mean that this chef is better than that chef or that chef is better than that one. It's like you murdering that crab cake, you murdering that Mediterranean dish, you murdering that soul food or whatever it is. Like, your dishes could be different, and that's okay. And I think that's a huge part of it. So
yeah.
Does all natural nappy. The other one does weeds. Both of them does it equal.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's just when you compare yourself, you know, you get so stuck into comparing yourself with things like that.
Yeah.
No, I'm okay.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
You guys
right,
doing a good job.
right.
What you can also do is get tips from that person. If somebody's doing something that you know, that you admire, you can always ask them, well, how did you get started? Can you give me some tips on becoming as successful as you are with this? Or, you don't have to take that as a knock to you or to let it allow you to be depressed because this person is more successful than you are or whatever. Ask them what they have strengths and weaknesses just like you do. And some of their strengths may be your weakness and some of their weaknesses may be your strength.
Yeah.
And so you can always, have someone help you with that or help each other to elevate each other, to become unlimited.
So first of all, you're sitting here talking to two coaches, right? A health and wellness coach, a career coach. And so ultimately what we are trying to get people to do is to be coachable. And so what you're talking about is being open to being coachable, open to accepting feedback. And listen, I will sit here and I will admit I took things personally. I was someone who, if you said something to me, I would take it personal. And I would hear it, but I would take it personal to the point where I let it make me feel bad about myself instead of taking it as an opportunity to grow and an opportunity to learn. And I got feedback from a good friend that I've been friends with now for over 25 years. And it helped me when he said it. It's like, you take everything personal. And I don't know that I realized it until he said it to me. Mm-hmm. And once he did, I was like, oh, I need to stop that. Because I mean, in my professional life, my whole goal is to train and develop and coach people. Right. And so if I'm not coachable, well, how the heck am I going? Exactly. Yeah. So you got to recognize and be able to say it's okay to get feedback. It's okay for me to ask and say, hey, listen, how did you go about doing X, Y, and Z? Or how did you start your own business? Or how did you get that position? What qualifications did you need in order to be able to be qualified for that particular role? Right. And that's what we want you to see, is that you don't have to be held back, for sure.
Yeah. Sure. Don't hold yourself back.
Don't hold yourself back
either by fear or comparison.
Exactly.
Open your mind to the possibilities, because there's so much. I mean, I've always said that to my children, and especially other young people. You can do whatever you want. Anything that you can imagine, you can do. And so, but I think that as we get older, we stop feeling that way, that anything is possible. And for some reason now, I am feeling that way, like anything is possible.
Fearless.
So, yeah.
You walk around with your ass on your chest. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. Yeah. All right. What else about comparison? How about you? How do you combat, or when it creeps in, how do you recognize it or stop yourself? Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Why are they not? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Once I got over that fear, I was able to stop myself to them.
Yeah.
And this summer I was blessed out of nowhere. The job that I'm looking to go into with my summer out of nowhere.
See?
Nowhere.
Yes.
So
You got that's it. That's it.
I had to get out
That's
of my
it.
own way to test the fear,
That's it.
stop comparing myself.
That's it.
To be like, I was this young
Yeah.
because I knew I wasn't young.
Yeah.
And my skills were myself and young. I just had to stop comparing myself and prepare myself.
You better say it, girl. You better stop. Wait a minute. You better not be rhyming in here. I'm gonna need you to say. I need write that one down. I need a write it. Say
Stop
it again.
comparison. Comparing.
And prepare.
Prepare.
I don't even think we need to talk about anything. I don't even think we need to talk about anything else. I need somebody to type that in the comments, please. Type that. She says, stop comparing yourself and prepare yourself. And that's it. I don't even know what else to say. I'm gonna drop the daggone mic at this point. I'm done. That was it.
That was the jewel right there.
That was it.
That was the jewel right there.
We could have started the conversation with that and then done 2 minutes. See what it said. No, but that's huge. Here's because you don't want to.
Even once we our fear and compare ourselves, and then we are doing the things that we really want to be doing. We don't prepare ourselves for the negative things to come up.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then, you know what I mean? All of the other things we're not prepared for. Our friends to be jealous or our friends to not. All those things come with preparation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To not knock you off your guard. But once you are prepared,
That's it.
Yeah.
But you know what? Preparation requires you to put in work.
Yes.
And the problem is that most of us we want instant gratification. You don't think about the long-term satisfaction that comes from putting in work. You know what I'm saying? You got to put in the work. I mean, I'm telling you that comment. Since I'm gonna give you credit, but I'm gonna have to steal that one because I like that one right there. Seriously, that preparation is huge. That's it. That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
Tell them what you need.
Yeah. People don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah.
So if you tell them what you need,
Yeah.
and they're there for you, then great. If not,
yeah. But sometimes it's you people aren't able to tell their family what they need because they don't know what they need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Friends.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You don't always know.
Yes.
And once you tell them,
yes. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
A lot of times you don't know. And then you're mad because nobody supported you, but you didn't say anything.
But did you ask? Right? Did you ask?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly. Well, that's because you walk around like, listen, I'm tough. I mean, I don't need nobody. Like that's so one of the questions that I ask when I'm interviewing people, and trying to figure out and identify what they're looking for is I talk to them about their support committee, and I ask who's in their support committee, and then I ask them who's trying to discourage them, like who are those people that aren't supportive.
Right.
And it'd be surprising because one of the follow-up questions I ask, it's like, well, why do you think that they're discouraging? Have you asked them? Have you asked them for help? And they told you no? And you'll see the light bulb go off. It's like, well, no, I didn't really ask. It's like, well, how do you know that they're not going to be there for you? You may have somebody in your camp, but you never asked. And so I think that's huge too. That's huge.
I think it's fair enough. I think
Yeah.
they see you leaving them.
Yeah.
Or get, you know what I mean? I think that a lot of things, it can be, you know, the selfish.
It's a cycle. It becomes a cycle. Yeah.
Yeah.
It becomes a cycle. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's pulling the air. Yep. They pull it down.
Yeah.
Well,
they're helping each other.
So one won't be.
Exactly. Okay.
So,
dang. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, let's get together.
Yeah.
Build each other up.
Right.
Didn't I tell you you should have been in that chair right here in this view? You needed to be the third person today in here. You better go ahead and be the guest speaker today.
Yes,
listen, guys. We can have this conversation and we could go on and on and on.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, like my quote for us today is, I choose to surrender the blocks that prevent me from stepping into my truth and power. And that's the stuff that we're talking about. Surrendering those blocks, those roadblocks, whether they are mental, whether they are actual, whether they're people that, I choose to surrender that because it's preventing me from stepping into what my true power is and being armed with just the success skills that you have or the things that you have to help make you successful is huge. And so to me, I mean, I want you to write down 3 things that are positive about yourself. I want you to do that. And part of the preparation piece that our live studio audience just talked about and making sure that you are prepared is what we talked about last week. Start writing down what you want to accomplish. Write down 3 positive things about yourself. You're getting closer to identifying the preparation, and that's going to lead us to next week because it prepares you for the steps that you're going to need to take. If you think success is going to happen and you don't have to do anything to make it happen, then you won't be successful. You're not going to be successful. And this is where, like, I get it. We watch reality TV shows and people get rich and famous off of doing nothing, right? Or they appear to get rich and famous off of doing nothing. But the reality is that
they work hard.
It is not going to happen overnight, and you have to be willing to put in the work and prepare. And that's why Valencia M was talking about celebrating those small steps and, kind of going there. So, So, all right, I'm going to let you plug because I keep talking about Valencia M, and I'm going to need her to go ahead and plug what she does. I'm going to let her talk about some of our sponsors that we have as well.
Yes.
So go ahead, and I need you to go ahead and hype yourself up right now. Go ahead, let the people know who you are and what you do.
Let y'all know. Okay?
Tell them what you do, Seth.
So I am Valencia M. I am a singer, a writer, a performer, and I'm a shining star. I'm also a licensed expanded function dental assistant, and I am a health and wellness coach.
Right.
And you can find my page on Facebook. It is Food for Life with Valencia M. I have 20-minute free consultations, and I want to help you get healthy. I want to help you learn the proper way to eat so that if you are suffering from diabetes or you're suffering from hypertension or any of the things, weight loss, there's so many things. All of that stuff, really, you would be surprised about how much what you eat affects that and your environment also. So, but that's me. And
you better go ahead. That's it.
I just wanted to read a couple of things. So Junice McDonald says, shout out my most beautiful wife and sister wife. Great topic today, ladies. You are doing the dang on thing. Great job, ladies. Keep up the great work. Love you more. And Linwood's Ride Out says 100, 100, 100.
That's it. You're supposed to have people that big you up. I like that. Thank you, fellas.
Yes,
we need that support. We love it. Yes. We love it. Yes.
Okay. So now I'm just going to shout out some of our contributors and our sponsors. These are people who have been helping with JCBIY events, talk show, and just our social networking events and everything. So I'm shout out contributors. We have LC Logan Empowers, Amber Etienne, Rosalind Thompson, Dana Moore, King of Soul, JB Mack, Yasmin Farouk, Shannon Edwards. And our sponsors, we have Alta Marie out of California, Maureen Harrison out of Texas, aka Strong Legs of Get Fit, Get Fly, SL1 Fitness, fitness trainer, coach, stylist, and retail therapist.
I always want to write that one down.
Yeah,
strong legs.
Strong legs. Okay.
Sorry.
We got Shanita Jackson out of PA, Pennsylvania, Making Music Count Ministries. Victor Carr out of Delaware. The wait is over. You no longer have to wait to get your carpets and upholstery deep cleaned the right way. Carr's Healthy Cleaning Service is our service, but making our customers happy is our specialty. Call 610-348-5236.
Hold on.
Yes.
Because if John Carr was here, you would have given him a hard time for reading that weight.
I sure would have.
Can you slow that phone number down, please?
Call 610-348 5236.
You gotta do it.
Or inbox Vic Carr on Facebook to set up your appointment. Remember, one call can clean it all.
All right, that's it.
We have Willamae Carr out of Delaware. She wants to promote and share that believing in God's love for your life and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Scripture, 1 Corinthians 13 NIV version. Love is indispensable, absolutely necessary. JB Mack, the King of Soul out of Pennsylvania, aka JB, the Fire Stick Man, providing great customer service for all of your Fire Stick needs. Inbox JB to take care of your Fire Stick wants and needs. You can contact him on Facebook at JB Mack or call 610-800-9528. Suzy Walker out of Pennsylvania, Mothers and Fathers, No More Tears, S.L.A.Y, S.L.A.Y, simply loving all of yourself.
I love that. Simply loving all of yourself. Okay.
We have Jourdeanna Yates out of New Jersey, founder of Chosen Career Consultants. They focus on providing information, resources, and motivating people towards career success. This week, she wants to spotlight specialized career education at All-State Career School near the Philadelphia airport. They're still helping people
virtually
right now.
Yeah.
If you're interested in a career in the dental or medical field, as well as truck driving, HVAC, or welding, you can call 610-521-1818 or go to their website. Pamela Caulk out of Pennsylvania, Dee Gardner, Lady D out of South Carolina, Zumba, Aqua Zumba, Silver Sneakers, Chair Yoga, and Zumba Gold Instructor.
And founder of I Dare You to Dance.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Mary Jackson out of PA, CEO of Thick Girls is Fly. Thick Girls is Fly apparel for all thick girls that are fly. TGIF. Everyone loves Friday. Everyone loves thick girls too. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram. Again, Thick Girls is Fly. Miss Jackson has entered the Miss Fashion Global Worldwide Fashion Show with 500 women total, plus 99 other women in her category of 40 plus and over. We will post the link to support and vote for Miss Jackson.
Yes.
All right. We have Carolyn Carr Majeed out of Pennsylvania and LC Logan out of PA. LC Logan Empowers is an empowerment speaker, visionary, CEO of the Phenomenal Women's Network, which is okay, let me get this together.
Slow it down.
Y'all.
Right.
Okay, she's the CEO of the Phenomenal Women's Network, which is an all-inclusive global network empowering, uplifting, and transforming the lives of women in business, leadership, and purpose.
Yes.
For more information on PWN services and how to become a member, contact 983-7464. We have Deborah Taylor out of Delaware. And Yvette.
Let me stop you before you even start this one. First of all, right now, we're at where? Where are we at?
The Ride Out, Tide Out.
You better go ahead with this one.
Okay, so here we got right here. All right. Yvette Ride out of PA. Join us for Soothing Sundays at the Ride Out, Tide Out, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Tickets are $100, $50 deposit to reserve your space. The price includes massage, meal, drinks, access to the jacuzzi, live entertainment, and more. There are only 10 spaces available. We will be taking temperatures prior to entrance. And you can cash app $VMAC, that's VMAC 0911, or contact 484-995-8649 for more information.
Yes, yes.
That was a lot, y'all.
I know. We could have broke them out. We could have brought it up and done it.
We were too busy talking.
We had a good conversation today. We had a good flow. So
yes.
All right. So this was part 2, right, of our 3-part series on the 3 things that hold people back from being successful. And so last week we talked about fear, gave you some things. This week we jumped right into comparison. And just want to make sure that you don't allow comparison to put you in a place of distraction and allow you to lose focus. Do not look at the best in others and see the worst in yours. We got another sponsor. Listen, hold on.
All right.
Hold on.
You got that.
Let me tell you, I need y'all to pay attention. Ebony Contractors right here, right?
Yes, all right.
Plumbing, heating, drain cleaning, electrical, drywall, painting, light roofing, doors, floors, remodeling, landscape, house clean outs. I mean, if you guys haven't seen the deck work that he's been doing in the community, man, please. I mean, I need you guys to get with it. So Ebony Contractors, please reach out to Linwood Rideout at 484-428-0445. Guys, hit up Ebony Contractors. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yes.
On Facebook under my name, Linwood Rideout before.
That's it.
Or you can look under Darren Butch Stokes. It's my partner.
All right.
Yeah.
Check out those. Listen, look at those before and after photos of just decks. The last one I just saw, what was it? You added a door to a patio? Is that what it was?
There's 4 windows. I cut out the 2 windows, left the 2 on the side, added a patio door.
You better shut up. Okay. Y'all better call Ebony Contractors. Yeah. That's it.
Wow.
Listen, let me tell you, if you cannot find good contractors, and I know how difficult it is to find good people, please go and follow Linwood on Facebook, Linwood Rideout. Hit up Ebony Contractors as well. 484-428-0445.
We are licensed and insured.
That's it. You gotta do it again. All right. All right, good people. So we're gonna leave you. Can you hit them with I want to hit them with our live studio audience quote again.
Yeah.
Hit them with the quote. That's how we're gonna end it today. Let's hit it with the quote. Come on.
But first, we're gonna say, "Be like you give a damn about yourself and believe in you."
That's it.
Stop comparing yourself and prepare yourself.
That's it.
All right.
Don't gotta say nothing else. Drop the mic.
Bye.
See you guys. Have a good time. Easy. That's my quote.
All right. Oh my God. Bye.
All right. See you guys.
Let's close that.
Yeah.
Make sure you want to end. Yes. End it.